Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the 5 things that you should never say to a motivated seller because they will absolutely obliterate your trust and you will lose the deal. Also, I'm going to tell you what to say so you can save the deal, make more money, and have more fun in the process. But before I jump in today's show, I've got to say one of the things that you need to focus on in this business is your sales skills. Sales is the most important thing that you can do in real estate wholesaling. Your ability to talk to a seller, to negotiate the deal, to get a big fat spread and make them feel secure in their decision. Okay, this is the most important thing. If you have not invested in a no limit sales system, go to nolimitsalessystem.com. Invest in the system today. I am that passionate about it. If you don't have the money, by the way, the price is embarrassingly low, but you can listen to all these podcasts and probably piece together everything in the system. It'll take you probably about 10 years. So if you want the shortcut, go to nolimitsalessystem.com. All right, let's talk about the 5 things that you should not say to a motivated seller and what you should say instead. Number 1, never tell a seller that you are going to live in the property. Now, I've seen so many newbie wholesalers and even some experienced ones when they start to get sloppy is they start negotiating. And I think for some reason, if they're meeting with a motivated seller, that if they tell a seller that they're living in the property and also the contrary, right? AKA, I'm not trying to buy the house for below market value. I'm not an investor. And therefore, I'm only buying it to live in the property, right? Think about it, because that's basically a lie, right? You are trying to conceal the fact that you're trying to make a profit, right? So that's why we say, well, the only reason why I'd be interested in buying this is pretty much because I want to live in it, right? That's weak, right? And that's a lie. And you basically lose all justification for trying to get an amazing price on the property, as if this is going to cause the seller to magically drop their price for $100,000. So do not tell the seller you are going to live in the property. As a matter of fact, it is going to hurt your negotiation, even if they thought that, even if that was the truth, right? You have to be an investor. So from the beginning, tell the seller you're an investor. You buy properties to make a profit. If you can't make a profit, you are not going to buy. We love to solve problems. We want to help you, but we have to be able to make a profit to do a deal. As Jack Miller used to say, famous investor, I'll throw you a rope, but I won't jump in the quicksand with you. Next thing is tell the seller how much work the property needs. As soon as you tell the seller how much work a property needs, they feel like you are trying to negotiate them down on price. And they are automatically going to get defensive. If you tell the seller, well, the roof's going to need at least $25,000 and the paint's going to be $10,000 and the new AC over here is going to be another $15 or $20, they are immediately going to start justifying that they could do it for less, right? The roof is not going to be 25, it's going to be 8. And the painting, I could do it with my brother for free. And the AC, look, you don't need to replace it, you just got to fix it. What are you talking about? You could pay way more and you still can make a healthy profit. As soon as you start telling them how much work it needs, and especially start attaching numbers to it, oh, forget it. You are toast. Instead, what you should do is look at the property, make funny faces, groan when you look at the AC, go, and then look at the roof and say, how old's the roof? And they say, 25 years ago. Look at the floor, scratch it. Look at the paint, right? Smell it. Make a little funny face. Maybe there's mold in there, right? Don't say it, right? But make them think, is there mold in there? Don't think, why did he make that funny face? Do those things. Again, you're not saying anything, you're not lying. Let the seller, let their mind wander. Next is do not. Oh man, this one kills me. And I tell you what, if you've ever done this, I feel your pain. Never tell a seller you will match any offer that they get, or that you're going to come up on price before the seller asks you if you can come up. So I see so many people, they meet with a seller and all of a sudden they say, well, I'm going to talk to 2 other people. And then immediately the wholesaler says, well, I'll match any offer that you could be, I'm going to be the highest. Oh my gosh, that is totally pathetic. Or if you could say, you know what, I could come up on price before a negotiation has even begun, the seller automatically loses trust and respect for you. Because why the heck would you all of a sudden come up on price when they didn't even ask you? Right? And it's like, well, why didn't you give me the better price before? What are you trying to rip me off? Right? So when you give a price, no matter what the seller says or does, or mentions that another buyer's coming over, just shut up. Listen. Let the seller talk. Find out the seller's the problems, their hurts, their dreams, right? What's next for them? And then listen and slow it down. Because if it's true that they are talking to other investors and you're only negotiating on price, you are dead in the water anyway, right? So negotiating on price is like the race to the bottom. So listen, find out what you can do to bring more value to the seller. And look, am I saying that you don't ever have to come up on price? No, I'm not saying that. But do it very, 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 very slowly, painfully, right? Make the seller work for it and offer more value in the process, right? Let the seller say there after closing. Take it with a tenant. Buy the house without an interior inspection as long as you get the right price, right? Smoking deal, okay? The talk to the seller and listen to their problems, right? Deal with a crazy tenant that says that they're going to kill you. By the way, that's happened many times in our business, right? It happens. We're in a very, very, very crazy business, and I love it, right? That's why we make the big bucks. Next one. Don't tell a seller you are going to fix up a property in some weird way that you think that you're going to build more credibility by telling the sellers they fix it. I know a lot of wholesalers out there, and by the way, this may be you, where all of a sudden the seller thinks that you're not going to wholesale this or fix it, right? Sellers do not know what wholesalers are, nor do they care. All the seller wants is their money. They want to get out of town, they want to get rid of their problem, and they want to get rid of their pain. The right sellers do not care what you are going to do with the property. So do not all of a sudden try to make them feel all warm and cozy like you're going to fix up the property and make it look so nice and put it back on the market. And that's the reason why they're going to sell to you. That's 99.99999% of the time they don't care. So why shouldn't you tell them that you want to fix the property? Because most of the time, if you're not, it's a lie, right? That is a lie. And then all of a sudden, you are now going to have to cover up for a lie that you told. So don't tell the lie and you won't have to cover it up. And second of all is just negotiate a better deal, because the real reason the seller wants to sell to you is not because you are going to fix it. And not all of a sudden for them to look online after you bought it and see the pretty pictures. They don't care about that. You need to focus on their pain, their frustrations, their nightmares about the property, the financial drain. You need to take this away. And that's what you need to focus on. You got to get them to their next place. Where are you going to go after I give you the money? Where are you going to drive that RV? What vacation are you going to go on? What bathing suit are you going to wear? Oh man, your friends are going to be so jealous of your trip to Hawaii. This is going to be amazing. So that's my tip for you. All right. The last thing is, do not tell a seller that your buyers, if you're showing your property to your buyers, are your contractors. Now, if you are bringing in contractors, you could say that you have contractors coming to see their property. If you've got buyers and there's going to be a lot of them there, you better tell your seller that there are going to be some buyers there, because someone's going to open up their mouth. If you've got an inspector there, tell them this. So let me give you a hack here so that you can maintain credibility. Number one, when I tell the seller I'm doing an inspection, I hire a professional inspector on every single deal. So that way, when all of a sudden the inspector comes, they come in the car, they got the shirt, they do the inspection. This is 100% the truth. And so when that person comes in, the seller is fixated on that inspection. Now, granted, sometimes you say there's an inspection or I'm going to inspect the property, and you could do that, but it's just like $250, $300, $350. It's easy, right? Just do it and you eliminate that problem. If you have an inspector, or I'm sorry, buyers coming, I say, I also have some buyers coming because I pre-market my properties before I buy them so I can sell them as fast as possible. And I can tell you that if they say buyers, right, you say, of course, why wouldn't I start marketing it like as soon as possible, right? Like 9 times out of 10, they're going to be okay with it, okay? Actually, I'd say 99 times out of 100, they're going to be okay with it. Just don't lie about it, and you won't have to defend yourself later, right? Hit him between the eyes. Of course, this gentleman is going to market the property, right? He's going to buy it and resell it. This all makes sense, right? It's not a problem. And if you're going to have some contractors, they're great, right? But don't tell lies. If you do these things, I'm telling you, business is so much easier. The seller's going to trust you. If you lie early in the process, and for whatever reason, you're going to have to get a reduction later on in the process, you are much more likely to get it if you told the truth and they trust you. Okay, so don't tell a seller you're living in the property. You're an investor. You're here to make a profit. Don't tell the seller how much work it needs. They already know. Make a funny face, squirm, make weird sounds. Okay, they get it. Just let them see you're uncomfortable. Don't tell them you're going to match any offer that comes in. That's pathetic. Okay, find out their problem, solve it. Don't tell them that you're going to fix up the property if you're not. You want to focus on their pain and what they're going to do after they sell it to you. And lastly, don't tell them your buyers or contractors, okay? If you have contractors there, it's great. Have an inspector there. If you're going to have a ton of buyers there, tell them the buyers are going to be there, and then you won't have a problem. They're going to love you, okay? They root for you. They want their money. They want this deal to close. Think about it. Why did they call you? Because they want a fast, easy sale, right? So why would they want to complicate this? They don't. So don't give them a reason to. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you haven't, invest in the No Limit Selling System. Please, for all things wholesale related, you got to invest in the system. NoLimitSalesSystem.com. Check it out, and I will talk to you on the next episode.